What if I stop this journey altogether? Just call it quits right about now. I'm 800 days in. I've had a good go. Yeah, let's just stop it. I'm not a prisoner of anything. I'm a free mind. I'm not a prisoner to this number that keeps on ticking along. I was telling my mate the other day or the other week, whenever we were talking about it, and I said, it's kind of getting ridiculous. The number's getting awfully big. Like, it's 800 freaking days. I'm sick of typing 3 digits. It's like, eventually it's going to get to 1,000. So I'm going to stop typing 4 digits in. It's just like getting out of control kind of thing. And then the thought process starts happening. Or am I doing this because I'm afraid of stopping the streak? I'm afraid of ending it all and the impending doom, all this effort. Why would I stop? This morning I woke up and I was like, yeah, why don't I just stop to prove myself that I'm not a prisoner of this bus, this journey, this train of just stringing all these days together. And the very next thought is, yeah, okay, I can stop. No tears lost. No shame in that or whatever. I can pretty much start the next journey the day after. Like, nothing changes. Like, I'm not doing this for anything. Like, I'm not going for 1,000. I'm not going for 900. I'm not going for 2,000. It's just a thing, man. It's just a thing. But then, the next thought is, well, I don't want to just do it for the sake of doing it. Like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it because I have another idea that I want to do. Maybe I want to try 3 days a week or 4 days a week or some other program or you name it. I need to have a direction. I just don't want to do something without, my mind into it or my heart into it. And then the next thought was like, okay, so I'm not going to train every day. What am I going to do? What am I going to replace this with, man? Okay, so today I'm not training. What am I going to do? Sit in the house? Watch some TV? Read a book? Play some video games? Watch YouTube? I don't know. When I think about all these different things, I struggle to find something that's equally valuable, equal quality to replace it with. All the other stuff that kind of means a lot to me in my life, the family, friends and all that, that's all kind of ticked off, man. Like, it's not like I've traded in family time for this. This usually happens when my family is busy themselves. Kids are at school or, we're doing something else. It's like, such a small part of the day, man. Like, we are awake for 16 hours a day, let's say. This thing takes an hour. Okay, sometimes it takes 3 hours when I really have a lot of free time. But most of the time, it's under 2 hours. So what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this time? Time is ticking regardless of what you do, man. Whether you're sitting on your ass doing nothing or you're actually getting after some idea. And this is the craziest thing about me. A lot of you guys ask me, and people in my private life, people, my colleagues, they're like, well, how many days are you going to go for? I don't know, man. I never set out to do anything. It's just a thing, man. It's just a thing. I'm just existing. It's just that there's the intimidation factor because there's a number, there's a timer, there's a thing ticking over every day. 828 days, 829, 830. And because the numbers are so big, you think to yourself, all right, enough of this, man. There's this, not pressure, but there's a thing behind the thing, And then it kind of occurs to me, what am I going to do for day 1,000? To be honest with you, the biggest problem in my mind is I hate these milestones. I hate milestones. Well, I have to prepare for day 900. What am I going to do for 900? What am I going to do for this? Well, I don't want to do anything, man. I just want to be left the hell alone, man. I just don't want any number. Because I think milestones are it's just arbitrary, man. Why do we celebrate 900 and not 850? Why do we celebrate birthdays and New Year's? It's not more important than any other day of our life or of the year. But it's a thing. It's a milestone we need to celebrate sometime, and it's a nice round number and restart of the year. Why not? I'm doing this with the same amount of enjoyment, enthusiasm, energy, like day one. It was just a flippant thing when I started this. It was just okay, I really like training, man, and I want to train every day. If somebody told me, man, when I was 14 years old, you can only play video games 2 hours a day. Let's say 2 hours, 3 times a week. 3 times a week you go 2 hours. We'll allocate 2-hour sessions, 3 days. Man, get the hell out of here. I want to play 24/7, man. I want to get my character to 99. I want to get my FIFA team the best it can be, man. I hate these time limits. And so when this idea got introduced to me, this squat every day, it's like, hold on a minute. So I can play my video game 24/7 every single day. That was kind of the feeling that I had. It's like, wow, how cool is this, man? Here is a scientific mind explaining to me that there is a scientific explanation why people are improving when they're training really frequently. And when I got it first into the gym, it was like, oh, no. You know, we've got stimulus, you got recovery, you got adaptation. You got to follow that curve. And so I followed it. Some say follow every week. Don't hit the biceps more than once a week. Never really made sense to me, but I was a noob and I listened to the guys that were better than me and all the guys on the screens. And so I listened. And then comes along Pavel Tsatsouline and Ivan Abajev and Matt Perryman writes a book about all of this stuff. And I was like, wow, mind blown. Let's game every day. And so my gaming now is the barbell. I love it. And the fact that it's 800 days, I'm like, man, that's one way of saying that you love something, man. I'm sure that if you guys kept a counter for something that you guys truly love in your life, let's say video games, or let's say, I don't know, whatever, playing piano, or whatever the hell the thing is, if you really love it, you're probably going to do it every single day, man. I mean, let's be honest. And that's what I feel about this. It's an enjoyable thing, especially when you sprinkle over this whole thing that it's very difficult to see progress. I'm one of those guys, man. I used to play video games as a kid, and it's like, if the game is too easy, I lose interest, man. It's just, there's no challenge. There's nothing to think about. There's nothing to work out. It's like an arcade game. It's made for kids. What made me think of video games like back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember Age of Empires, and then the game Civilization came out, and then like, I don't know, Baldur's Gate and Morrowind, Skyrim, all these games come out where it's like, no, you're not going to just willy-nilly up your level and progress. There needs to be a skill level, and it's hard. The harder the game, almost the more interest I have. And this whole barbell thing is like very, very hard to improve. There's so many different things to consider. It's like a proper puzzle to work out. It's a proper game. And that's how I got hooked onto this. It's very difficult. And the more I freaking struggled when I first started, the more like my want for it increased. And you can see after 800 days, it's like, the only pressure I have is the name number. There's a counter. It's like, counting to 1,000, running out of time. But there's no time, right? It's just, you go until you want to go. Until your body feels good. And the fact that my body feels excellent, and I'm feeling stronger and stronger, and I'm feeling better and better and smarter, I can work out problems quickly now. And some of these fires, they used to kind of slow me down back in the day. I know some of these fires. I know how they begin now, so I can quickly put them out. I'm getting better at putting fires out. I don't have to go down the path of like 1 year of right hip pain, not knowing what it is. Now I'm kind of putting pieces to the puzzle, and now I'm seeing a bit of success. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And really, there's no end to it. There's no end game boss. Once you kill him, it's done. It's never ending, man. Physics, the law of nature is going to stop you. Eventually you get to a point where you can't, physically impossible to move a certain amount of weight. That genetic potential is going to get reached. What it is for me, I don't know. And that's another beautiful thing. On the same line of thinking, I don't think you want to know what your natural limit is. Because if I told you your limit, or somebody told me my limit, it would be a depressing thought. Because you know the finality of it all. I heard somebody say that if somebody told you right now the day and the time of your death, you will be automatically depressed from that point on. Because it's like this, you can see the end, and that end is just daunting. I don't know whether that's right. Initially when I thought about it, and now I'm thinking about it, it kind of makes sense. Because when we're young, we have this feeling of infinity. It's just, you continue to grow and grow and grow, but there's a slope to this, right? You're eventually going to hit the top of the mountain, and then you're going to start dropping. You're going to start walking down the mountain. And eventually you're going to be on flat ground, and somebody's going to be digging a hole for you. So the fact that there's no end in sight that I know of, I don't know what my potential is. You know, I initially said 300, 300 and 180 are the lifts for me. Now I'm kind of getting close to 300 in the deadlift. And I'm like, maybe my potential is higher than 300 in the deadlift. You know, I've certainly seen all sorts of figures and all sorts of leverages out there do all sorts of things. I'm thinking maybe 300 is, I could definitely do it. The squat is still kind of intimidating me. The bench press is sort of almost kind of like, I can almost believe that as well. The most ironic thing is this is a squat everyday journey, and out of the 3 lifts, I feel like the squat is going to be the most difficult to get to the goal. I reckon a 4-plate bench is within my means in the next 10 years. Same with the deadlift, a 300 kilo deadlift. I could probably push that a little bit further as well. The squat, high bar, ATG, no belt, raw, all that stuff seems like it's a very, very elite level strength. And I don't know if that's possible for a natural fella weighing 100 kilos or whatever I end up weighing at that time. I certainly don't want to weigh 150 kilos because that's just that doesn't excite me, 2 times body weight squat at that point. But the bench press is going really well. I don't know what it is, man. Like, these arms are listening to me, listening to the stimulus that I'm providing to them. I'm working with 3s now, 130 on the kilos work today. The funny thing is, like, I did this set. I did a set of 3 with 130, and I thought, this is, I think, 125, but I did it, and I was like, I kind of feel naked benching without a safety kind of mechanism, behind me. So I did this set, and I straight away drove home, went straight into the garage, and ended up doing 5 sets of 3 at 130. So I kind of warmed up again and did that at home. I just want to have the confidence that I'm not going to die, basically. That's the whole thing. So the bench press is, like, I've got confidence with the bench press to hit 180 eventually. It doesn't seem like it's such a far, far away thing. Same with the deadlift. The squat is kind of here and there, but this idea of progression, this idea of finality, this idea of the squat every day keeps on counting. I keep on running more higher and higher numbers. It's kind of like somebody keeping a timer for my playtime at lunchtime. I don't want to hear that bell sound and I have to go back to the classroom. That's kind of how it feels. But it's just a number. Like, there's no finality. I'm not going to stop at 1,000. I'm not going to stop at 2,000. I'm going to stop when I want to stop. When I need a drink or I'm exhausted. I don't want to play anymore. At lunch. I'm done. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. And right now, man, like, my energy, my enthusiasm about this whole thing, and my love for the game is still as bright as it is as day one. So, it's not for everyone. Obviously, it's not for everyone. I just love it. I love the whole thing. Even these videos are not getting boring for me to make either. I enjoy it. You guys always stimulate me to talk about something else. The comments are always, popping off. So it's a nice little hobby I've kind of created here. And the best thing of all is that there's a community attached to this now. So it's kind of like, that's the beautiful thing. People are the beautiful thing. The energy, you guys. It's a cool thing, man. Because I've found people like me out there. That's a cool thing, man. That's a really, really cool thing. You can share your passion with somebody else. That's cool, man. I've said this in the past. If somebody gave you a Ferrari and left you on some island with nobody in it, that Ferrari is a junk. It's a piece of junk. It's just a bunch of metal. You can't share with anyone. But when you're able to share that Ferrari with your best friend, with your wife, with your kids, all of a sudden this hunk of metal, this bunch of metal has a meaning. We're impressed by the beauty of it, by the engineering of it, by the performance of it. We're impressed. But if you're just by yourself, it's not as fun. And that same kind of idea applies to this thing. The fact that we are communicating, we are bouncing ideas around the place, that's a really cool thing for me. 5 more guys have jumped onto the Patreon list last night. Crazy. The list is growing by the day. Jason Dang, Patrick Miller, Stelios Kiaias, hopefully I said that right, man. JW and Doomslayer. 5 names. The army is growing, the community is growing. I'm continuing to find more and more people like-minded. And that's a really, really special thing. Really special thing. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.